So, welcome to week 2 of social psychology. We'll have a little bit more to do this week. We won't just do introductions. So everybody got off kind of easy, just looking through the syllabus and going through the website, the Blackboard site, and looking at what we have to do this semester. So I wanted to go ahead, and I'm not going to do this every week, but this was one of the things that students from previous online classes liked. So I'm going to try to, whenever I can, whenever the time, I'll try to kind of guide you. You'll have a PowerPoint each week. There will be many weeks, though, and there may be some weeks where I just want you to rely only on reading the text. So be prepared that there may be some weeks where you're just reading the text, not necessarily the PowerPoint. Responding to maybe some questions in the text. So this week, again, we're going to try to ease into the semester. Don't always expect it to be this like, okay, he's just going to throw me softballs all year long. So, that discussion post, I'm just going to knock that one out of the park. It's not always going to be that way. So hang in there. I want to give you a little bit of whoops, don't do that. I want to give you a little bit of an ease into the semester, so you're not like overwhelmed at the first. So anyway, I want to introduce the scientific method, social psychology. Again, if it's psychology, it's really built on science as a foundation. When you're dealing with sociology, psychology, those kind of things. Social psychology, the scientific study of how people think about, influence, and relate to one another. So it's our social world. And the way our text has this bracketed down and helping us to understand really kind of three things. Social thinking, how we perceive ourselves and others. When we think about ourselves, what do we believe? Judgments we make and attitudes we have. Us, the me part of it. The second part of it is social influence. So looking kind of outside of ourselves, looking at our culture. Do we have pressures to conform? Persuasion, how we persuade each other. Then looking at different groups of people. When you have people that are common in culture, in language, in religion, in race, you can bracket different groups of people. Then you look at social relations. In social relations, then we kind of maybe even look at systems. So not just groups, but how do groups interact with each other, and how do systems then interact with those people? So that's going to be one of the big themes that we go, and I want everybody to get a hold of, is kind of thinking about things on an individual level, individuals, and then maybe groups of people, and then maybe even larger societal systems. So we'll talk about those things. Social relations, prejudice, aggression, attraction and intimacy, and then helping. It's focused on negative a lot. We get a lot of negatives these days in our culture. Let's also focus on some good things. What makes social living a good thing, and how can we help other people and help the world be a better place? So you'll see these three themes will kind of move from here to here to here throughout the course. And then individual, I want folks to kind of understand it on this level, okay? In psychology, the dominant force in psychology now is a theory called cognitive behavioral theory. And it really tries to look at the whole person. It really looks at our thoughts, what we're thinking about, and how those thoughts relate to our emotions, how we're feeling, and how also those relate to our behaviors, what we're doing. So on another level, you can kind of understand it like this. So let's put it in illustration. Social psychology illustrated. So the outside world would be this circle here, and this is going to look like, if anybody's ever seen an infinity symbol, it kind of runs around like this. And so our outside world has influences on us. So this would be us, an individual over here, one person. And so that person has thoughts. That person has feelings. That person has behaviors or actions. Or actions. So the actions are down here, the feelings are over here. Let's move that a little bit. Feelings are over here, and the thoughts are up here. Now, there's something that I want to impress upon you that influences social psychology. We also have these very deeply seated beliefs. And those are in here. And so that takes cognitive psychology even a step deeper. Cognitive psychology generally, cognitive behavioral psychology generally focuses on thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. That triangle we just saw on the slide before. But I want people to even understand it even on a deeper level, because our beliefs influence our thoughts, influence our feelings, and influence our behaviors. And then what these behaviors then do to the outside world. Because each one of us exerts an effect on the others around us, on the environment around us. So that's really quickly, that's a really quick summation of this individual concept of who we are. Through this illustration, I used the example of, let's say that somebody's significant other separated from them because this person here had an affair. So in that case, this person might believe, and this really clouds the whole person here, is the belief. I'm a bad person. That prejudice, that underlying stuff, influences the thoughts. If I keep living, I'll just mess up again. The feelings, feeling inferior, sadness, grief, self-loathing, apathy, guilt. And then possibly that person starts isolating in their behaviors. They become suicidal in their behaviors. And so that's a bad place to be. So that's where you would want somebody to, if they were counseling, to intervene with this person, because, wow, they're about to end it. So here would be that intervention. So maybe a counselor helps them recognize that there's other strengths and qualities that they have. Maybe there was already some faults in the relationship. Maybe the other person and they weren't getting along very well, and maybe they need to focus on relationships with family members and others. So then sometimes this takes a little while to change in the middle, this belief. But through the empathic confrontation, then you have maybe the thoughts changing to, hey, I made a mistake. I can learn from my mistakes and make things better, leading to different feelings of hope, love, happiness, joy, and then different behaviors. Notice how, one influences the other. Maybe become loving, maybe altruistic in the behaviors. And then so that affects how other people perceive them as well. Family members respond differently to a renewed individual, which should reinforce the positive changes. So you can see that we can make a difference with other people. And you can see that it really focuses in on the complex interactions of thoughts, feelings, behaviors, and beliefs. The things that make us human. So I want us to keep that in mind as we go out through the semester, that each one of us functions through something like this. You're welcome to rewind this. I know I went really fast. Sometimes in my other classes, I take that a lot slower. But you guys are able to kind of rewind this, if you would, and watch it again, if you're interested to know. Here's the clip. I won't show it for right now because you guys are supposed to respond in your journals or your discussion boards to this particular clip. What's wrong with these statements? Let's think about this. Poor people are poor because they are lazy. What's wrong with that statement? Assuming you're having thoughts to yourself. Upon what is this statement, view, or attitude based? What's wrong with this statement? Which people are greedy? Again, what's this statement, view, or attitude based upon? Because carrying around these beliefs, to me, these would be the deeper-seated things. You can have, of course, one of those beliefs can pop up as a thought, but if you carry around prejudices like these can impact your interactions. So, but how do you come upon these ideas? I think that's what I want us to question. Because in social psychology, you have to throw personal experience out the window. And the reason why is because if we walk around, and let's say you go out on the, we're in Alva, Enid, Ponca, there's a few of us from other places, but if you look out on the horizon, look at the world, what does it appear? It appears flat. That horizon appears flat. So, I walk more, I drive more, and it's just still flat. So, what would be our assumption about the world? I guess it must be flat. So people held that view a long time. If you look up in the sky, and everybody probably did on last Monday, and saw the moon pass in front of the sun. But if you look up in the sky, what appears to happen? Well, the sun appears to move, right? The moon appears to move. So, that moon's going around the earth. Why wouldn't the sun go around the earth? Why wouldn't the earth be the center of everything? Because it certainly looks like we are the center of everything. We even call it the sunrise and the sunset, because we're still, in our language, we're still saying that sun is moving. But what is really happening? We're the ones moving around the sun. What I'm saying is, it's important for us to take a step back from our preconceived notions, from our prejudices, when we study humans, when we study human groups, when we study social psychology. That's the big point of this whole first week, is take a step back from what you think you know and be prepared to see things a little differently. Be prepared to be that satellite that shoots off from the earth and looks up and says, okay, wow, the earth looks a lot different, it's round. And if I measure things enough, we're the ones that are going around the sun. Okay, you guys are welcome to read through the rest of the slides and get an idea. This should be reviewed for a lot of you who've had science classes before. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I'll do my best to respond. Otherwise, I'll see you on the discussion boards. I hope you all have a good week. Take care.